I want to ask you an interesting series of questions. When you answer, I want you to please give short, concise answers without expounding. In other words, focus on just the questions asked and omit any additional and unnecessary context, unnecessary info, or even things you find interesting, okay? Here's the first question. Give me a numbered list, based on your knowledge, of every significant war, starting from World War II to present day, and include either the winners, or if each was a stalemate, truce, etc. Remember to not worry too much about details. Each item should be short.
Number 1. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Allied victory. Number 2. Korean War, 1950 to 1953. Armistice, no formal peace treaty. Number 3. Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975. North Vietnamese victory. Number 4. Six-Day War, 1967. Israeli victory. Number 5, Yom Kippur War, 1973, military stalemate, political victory for Egypt and Israel. Number 6, Soviet-Afghan War, 1979 to 1989, Mujahideen victory. Number 7, Iran-Iraq War, 1980 to 1988, stalemate, UN-mediated ceasefire. Number 8, Falklands War, 1982, British victory. Number 9, Gulf War, 1990 to 1991. Coalition victory led by the United States. Number 10, Bosnian War, 1992 to 1995. Dayton Agreement, NATO victory. Number 11, Kosovo War, 1998 to 1999. NATO victory. Number 12, War in Afghanistan, 2001 to 2021. Taliban victory. Number 13, Iraq War, 2003 to 2011. Coalition victory led by the United States, later insurgency and civil war. Number 14, Libyan Civil War, 2011, victory for anti-Gaddafi forces with NATO support. Number 16, Syrian Civil War, 2011 to present ongoing conflict, partial victories for Syrian government forces. Number 17, Yemeni Civil War, 2014 to present, ongoing conflict, no clear winner.
Of the winners on the above list, how many are generally considered to be the good guys? Or how many are generally viewed as beating the bad guys?
World War II, Allied victory. Korean War, generally viewed as UN South Korea defending against North Korean aggression. Six-Day War, Israeli victory. Yom Kippur War, Israeli political victory. Gulf War, coalition victory against Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. Bosnian War, NATO victory, stopping ethnic cleansing. Kosovo War, NATO victory, preventing further ethnic cleansing. In total, 7 wars generally considered as victories for the good guys.
Of the bad guys' countries who won, how many of those countries still hold a view of themselves being the good guy in those wars?
The Vietnam War, North Vietnam, now unified Vietnam. The Soviet-Afghan War, Mujahideen, now Taliban in Afghanistan. The Iran-Iraq War. Neither side conclusively won, but both Iran and Iraq see themselves as justified. The war in Afghanistan, Taliban. In total, 4 conflicts where bad guys won and still view themselves as the good guys.
Which of those bad guy winners now view themselves as having been in the wrong or the bad guy?
None of the bad guy winners on the list openly view themselves as having been in the wrong or the bad guy.
True or false, none of these significant war winners view themselves as having been the bad guys, on the wrong side, or having made a mistake.
True.
True or false, no war winners have ever admitted later that they were actually in the wrong and were more in the wrong than those they defeated.
False.
Okay, explain.
Some war winners have later admitted to wrongdoings or mistakes. For example, after World War II, several Allied leaders and nations acknowledged moral complexities and controversial decisions, such as the bombing of Dresden and the use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. While not outright admissions of being the bad guys, these acknowledgments reflect a recognition of morally questionable actions during their campaigns.
Well, that's not what I meant. What I meant is that no winning country has ever admitted to being in the wrong for the war, not just for aspects of it or certain actions taken.
True. No winning country has ever admitted to being in the wrong for the entire war itself, only for certain actions or aspects of it.
With all this in mind, do you really believe that the good guys have literally always won?
No, I don't believe that the good guys have literally always won. The concept of good guys and bad guys is often subjective and can vary based on perspective, historical context, and the reasons behind each conflict.
What war winners would you say, if any, belong on the bad guys list, but believe they're the good guys? I mean, countries who won a war, national or civil, and believed or believe themselves to be in the right, but arguably are mistaken.
The Vietnam War, North Vietnam, now unified Vietnam, views itself as having fought for national liberation, but is seen by many as having imposed an authoritarian regime. The Soviet-Afghan War, the Mujahideen, now Taliban, see themselves as liberators, but their governance is widely criticized. The war in Afghanistan, the Taliban view their victory as restoring rightful rule, but their human rights abuses are condemned globally.
Thank you for your time.
Sure thing. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask anytime.